Alright guys, welcome back once again to another video. This is Lucas Clones, and this is a video that I haven't done, a type of video I haven't done for quite some time. And this time around I'm going to be doing custom reviews, so I'm going to be reviewing some customs of mine. It's summer, and I'm able to, during the summertime, get a lot more work in. So in the last 2 weeks, I've made about 12 new figures, which is kind of a lot. And today what I'm going to be doing on this video is just talking about 2 of them. So right now you see 2 vintage G.I. Joe figures in front of you, and this one here is Leatherneck, and this one here is Gung Ho. And just to let you know, anybody who's watching this, maybe you don't know very much about G.I. Joe, Leatherneck and Gung Ho, they're both Marines. You can see on Gung Ho here, he has on his chest the Eagle Globe and Anchor of the Marine Corps. And they are 2 of my favorite G.I. Joe characters because they are Marines. And of course, in the old Sunbow cartoon show, they were very, very cool characters. Now, Hasbro has released some 25th anniversary versions of both Leatherneck and Gung Ho, and since they were in the 25th line, they weren't very well done. The Gung Ho character could barely hold his grenade launcher, and was not very well articulated, just wasn't a very good figure all around. Pretty good for when they came out, but as you know, the line has progressed, not so great. Leatherneck, kind of the same story. I mean, they pretty much just used a repainted Gung Ho head for him, and some reused parts from the 25th anniversary line. He actually came with a Ostriker repaint, and that's been about it on the versions, the updated versions. So I've been trying to, for a while now, create some updated versions of Leatherneck and Gung Ho, and just about a week ago, or a little bit over a week ago, I did get a chance to work on some. So I'm going to move these guys over, and we'll put Leatherneck back here because I'm going to talk about him first. Leatherneck, when I was a kid growing up, was one of my absolute favorite toys to play with. And so this is the updated version of Leatherneck here. Let me get some more light on the subject. And so I wanted to have a modern, updated Leatherneck that kind of captured a few aspects. One is that it reminded you, when you looked at it, of the vintage figure, and you can see by looking at the figure here in the background that he does have several aspects of the vintage figure that kind of call back. He's got the 8-point Marine utility cover. He has got the mustache. He's got a combat knife here and 2 frag grenades right there. You can see here and here. He has a updated M4, and this is from Marauders Gunrunners, by the way, if you don't know where I got that from. This is an M4, which is kind of like the modern version of an M16, with an M203 grenade launcher attachment on the bottom, and Leatherneck, the original figure. This is actually not his original gun. This is more of a silver. The original one was more gray, but it's the same gun. He had an M16 M203 combo. He had sort of like a combat vest deal here that zippered up in the front, and you can see I've done that with this combat vest here, and you can see there's a zipper there. The Leatherneck figure was wearing some kind of a fatigue shirt. I gave him, and this is just being limited by parts, sort of a t-shirt underneath, which I think is you know, probably a little bit better. And by the way, this is a removable hat. So you can take Leatherneck's hat off, which is great. I've always thought that would have been cool to have a removable hat for the vintage figure. Now, on the color scheme, I did change up the color scheme considerably. Because, like I said, I wanted this to be a modern update. So he's got an olive drab hat, and I originally had painted him the Woodland Marp hat, but then I had to redo the head. I did one head and I didn't like it, so this is my second attempt on it. And in doing that, I kind of gave him the olive drab because I think of Leatherneck as kind of like an old Marine, and you can see he's got kind of some gray in his hair right there. So I wanted to give him sort of that harkening back to the old school of the Marines with the olive drab cover. Maybe he was in Vietnam. But I did give him the Woodland Marpat fatigue pants because he is a Marine that's in the military now, so he would probably have some more updated stuff. Just some regular old combat boots there, and of course you can see the Gunnery Sergeant insignia. I think of this as sort of like a t-shirt that he's wearing underneath that maybe has a print of the Gunnery Sergeant. He's a Gunnery Sergeant in the Marine Corps. He's got some smoke grenades and some ammo pouches there, perhaps for a pistol. And that's probably maybe the only other thing. His knife is removable too, which is great. Kind of gets stuck in there. Took the knife from an alley viper. So that's Leatherneck. And oh, and the last thing, I did give him a backpack. And if you look at the original backpack, it's pretty darn close. And I think this was from a Flint. And then I added the bedroll on top. It's got 2 frag grenades, which is the only thing that's not exactly like that, but I think overall it's a good balance of vintage but also modernizing Leatherneck. Alright, stay tuned because I'm going to have Gung Ho next. Alright, back again with my second part of this 2-part review, and this time around I have Gung Ho, and kind of like the same idea goes for Gung Ho that I had with Leatherneck, and that was just trying to do a modern update while keeping some aspects of the vintage. Now, before I start with this review, though, I just want to say a few things about the vintage Gung Ho figure. There's some things about the Gung Ho figure that I didn't like, and those were things that I really tried to change with my custom. And one of the things that I didn't like is I never really liked the open chest flak vest showing his eagle, globe, and anchor, and I get that, and I appreciate, you know, what the old Hasbro designers are trying to do back in the 80s with this figure, and I appreciate that, but at the same time, if you think about a soldier who's going into combat, he's probably not going to be wearing his flak vest like that. He's probably going to have a shirt on, he's probably going to have, you know, a flak vest zipped up, ready for combat. Even if he tried to pull a grenade off of this flak vest, the fact that it wasn't zippered would make that even more difficult because he'd pull the flak vest more than the grenade. And the other thing is the color scheme is kind of wacky. I mean, this color scheme here is kind of like a turquoise and olive drab camo. There's never been a camo like that. In the Marine, of course, the whole point of their combat vests would be to blend in with their environment so that they can't be detected by the enemy. And so with my updated version of Gung Ho, I tried to capture the look of Gung Ho while getting rid of those things that I didn't really like. And so here's my modern updated Gung Ho, and so what I did was I used a lot of the elements. He's got the 8-point utility Marine Corps cover. He's got the mustache. He's got pretty much, you know, a head that really reminds you of the vintage head. This is actually a Recondo head. It's a cast by my buddy Sith Happens. If you need any casts, definitely check him out on eBay. And I just repainted it. He does have a removable hat, as you could just see, which is great. And the rest, he's got a flak vest on here, or you could call it a plate carrier, I guess. That is closed. He's got a combat knife right there. I always like them to have a combat knife because most soldiers go into battle with a combat knife. He's got some grenades down here. And as far as the color scheme goes, I just did the Desert Marpat. And by the way, if you don't know what Marpat is, I've been saying that a lot. Marpat means Marine pattern. So the Marines now have 2 basic patterns that they use for their battle dress uniform, and that is Marpat Woodland and Marpat Desert. So this is the desert version. I tried to capture that as best I could. Gave him some knee pads there for some extra protection, some basic combat boots, and the knife is removable also. And then I just gave him a white t-shirt underneath because he probably, if he's in the desert, he's going to want to be, you know, cooled off and nice and what have you. So that's my modern update of Gung Ho. Oh, and by the way, Gung Ho came with a grenade launcher, so I gave him a Marauders War Machine automatic or semi-automatic grenade launcher, which is really cool. It's just an awesome piece for Marauders, Gunrunners, and it looks awesome on Gung Ho. Perfect weapon for him. And of course that explains the grenades that are on his vest, you know, or reloads or whatever. So that's going to do it for this video. I do have a bunch more figures to show you. I got some Range Vipers. I got a Lowlight I'm working on. I got a Big Ben and Ambush, or two more G.I. Joe updates, and Cover Girl, and a few other things, Hit and Run, that I'm going to be trying to do some videos on now that I have some time in the summer. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you did enjoy this video, and I know it's a little long, please, you know, rate, subscribe, like, and if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram tag is LucasClones, so just go on Instagram. That's a new thing that I've been doing. And of course I'm on Twitter at LucasClones, and on Facebook is LucasClones Customs. Alright, so thank you for watching, and bye-bye.